Professor Fred Stubbs, I want to use this video to explain to viewers the theory behind Ventrilo-Dialogues. And if it's all right with you, I'll let you do most of the talking.
My pleasure, Tom. I'd be happy to elaborate on Ventrilo-Dialogues, as long as viewers know that it's you who put the words into my mouth, so to speak.
So to speak, right. Not a problem, Fred. I take full responsibility for the words we're speaking here. Before we begin, can you tell viewers what you do?
Certainly, Tom. I'm a music teacher in Massachusetts. I also play Turkish music, play a flute called the ney, and build musical instruments in my workshop.
Fantastic. So, tell me, Fred, what are Ventrilo-Dialogues?
Ventrilo-Dialogues are cartoon conversations about music, sound and culture with a cast of virtual characters, including, of course, you and I imagine there are or will be others.
Oh yes, there are indeed others.
Right. So, the ventrilo part derives from the word ventriloquism, which means to produce one's voice in a way that it seems to emanate from another.
The way my thoughts seem to be emanating from you right now, is that right, Fred?
Yes, exactly, Tom. Exactly that. But let me continue. Ventrilo-Dialogues are a way of speaking through others, playing with the agency and authorship of voice, dramatizing ideas through borrowed affect, impersonation, and virtual dialogue. It is a way of representing and channeling others through verbal puppetry. Ventrilo-Dialogues are renderings, and imagining that takes facts as a point of departure for a speculative journey through ideas. They're based on public knowledge and ethnographic observation, deriving sustenance from these shared and researched commons. This being said, quote-unquote truth in Ventrilo-Dialogues is always fungible and elastic. After all, Tom, they're animation.
Wonderful, Fred. But tell me, why should one want to Ventrilo-Dialogue someone or something?
Well, Tom, there are a few reasons. First, there is the possibility that you can articulate someone else's ideas better than they could themselves. I know this is something you and I have discussed in the past. In fact, I remember you going to some length to try to ventriloquize my thoughts, even in the middle of our real-world conversations. I must say, that was quite something.
Yes, we have talked about this. And yes, Fred, at one point I even used to try drawing cartoons by hand in order to articulate thoughts on your behalf.
I remember those sketches well. But we digress, Tom. Ventrilo-Dialogues can express the working philosophy of a composer, or give voice to something that normally could not speak, like a musical instrument or a musical style or a musical concept. Second, Ventrilo-Dialogues allow us to say things beyond what our subjects would say, if in fact they can even speak. In this way, they extend the reach of their subject's sensibility, making daring sense on their behalf. Finally, by assigning voice to ideas and things, or by revoicing people who can already speak, Ventrilo-Dialogues are a means of generating ideational leverage. The conversations help render someone or something by optimizing them, amplifying and cartooning them.
Wow, that sounds intense, Fred.
Yes, Tom. Ideally, such dialogues capture intensity like butterflies in a jar.
Okay, so tell me, Fred, how do Ventrilo-Dialogues impact the idea of authorship?
Well, Tom, I would argue that Ventrilo-Dialogues complexify the notion of authorship, dividing it between the writer and the ventriloquized to make what could be described as a narrative in stereo. Ventrilo-Dialogues are conversations that would never take place in the world outside the ventrilo text. In this way, Ventrilo-Dialogues also destabilize the authority of authorship, especially the notion of a single, all-knowing author who is, quote-unquote, running the show. Ventrilo-Dialogues are animated shows in and of themselves. In the place of clear authorship, they offer a probing alternative, a space for remixing contemporary artistic and philosophical discourses into a recombinant conversation available to anyone who wishes to listen.
Thank you, Fred, for lending your voice to today's discussion, and for explaining Ventrilo-Dialogues. I hope viewers now have a better idea of what these movies are trying to accomplish. I look forward to more conversations in the future.
You're welcome, Tom. Peace out.